When you hang out with friends, what do you usually do?
My social life can be very different depending on where I live and who I hang out with.
So for today's video, why don't we focus on comparing Edinburgh and Taipei today? I think that would make for an interesting video, right?
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Shue-Rong from Taiwan. Today we're going to continue on the topic we talked about last time, culture shock in Scotland.
Hello everyone, I'm Glenn. I'm sure you'll remember me from the last video that we shot together.
If you haven't watched it yet, please click the link in the description below.
So, Shue-Rong, where would you like to start for today's topic?
I want to talk about my social lives in Scotland and Taiwan. When I was in Edinburgh, drinking occupied a big part of my social life.
Right.
We usually go to bars, in restaurants or theaters, people order drink. When I visited my friends, of course there's a lot of alcohol. Also, I didn't know the concept of bar crawling until I lived there.
I think Europe, but especially Scotland, has a very big drinking culture. But nowadays, there are lots of young people who don't drink any alcohol at all. So when you were in Edinburgh, did you enjoy experiencing this kind of culture, and do you have many good bars in Taipei?
Yes, we have a lot of excellent bars in Taipei, but we don't have bars every 10 meters. Okay, maybe I was exaggerating. Every 100 meters. Jesus, the density of bars in Edinburgh is like our 7-Elevens. Yes, I enjoyed that kind of culture a lot. After leaving Scotland, I really miss the local breweries, even though we have delicious beer too. To be honest, sometimes I enjoyed seeing people getting pissed.
Again, I think it's because of the drinking culture that's present there, and especially when you think about it, in Edinburgh, there's not just U of E, right? There's many other universities, so of course there's many people that want to be drunk on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably one of them.
True.
And I think many of you watching probably know Brewdog, the brand. Well, it's actually a brand from Scotland, and they even have many pubs, and you can find them in Tokyo and also Seoul. So I want to know, why did you find drunk people so funny?
During the daytime, I think the people I saw were quite reserved. But when I walk in the street at night, they became more talkative. And once when I was in the lift, a Scottish lady was talking to me. She was guessing if it's gin, vodka or whiskey in my friend's tumbler.
Can you imagine? Scottish people are already super friendly, so when they drink alcohol, they become even more friendly and sometimes too friendly. But wait, didn't drunk people annoy you sometimes?
Not really, I enjoyed it. So when I heard there's people talking on the street, I feel quite happy because I was the only person who's awake.
Wait, you heard people from your room? I thought you lived on the 4th floor of your student halls.
Maybe we can check the video together.
Jesus, the window wasn't even open. But actually, I used to live near the same street that Sharon lived on. That street can be very busy sometimes, so I understand why there's lots of drunk people there.
But it never bothered me. I had to stay awake anyway.
So you've told me about your social life in Edinburgh, so why don't you tell me a little bit about your social life in Taiwan? And what do you usually do with your friends there?
With Taiwanese friends, we also drink in clubs sometimes, but the frequency is a lot less. We go to karaoke cafes, bookstore and restaurants, or just take a walk and randomly pop into some shops. One of my favorite activities is hang out at a cafe.
Why? Because you're the snack queen?
Yes. But a very important reason is we have more cafes similar to Brew Lab, but it's still a little bit different. We go there and chat. After a while, we start to do our stuff, like studying, working, using our phone, or napping.
Really? Napping?
Yes.
And the owners are completely okay with that?
I think the owners are quite chilled. As long as you order something, no one will say anything to you even though you stay there for hours. And some cafes even project the films on the wall, and it's common that you need to be quiet because some people might need to study or work.
So if you stay there for a long time and you don't order like a lot of snacks or drinks, how can those places make money then?
I don't know. It's very kind of them. Some cafes have a time limit, but there's another style of cafe. In Taipei, there's a great variety of cafes, except for the ones I go very often. Some are famous for their dessert, and others are known for their interior design. We have kids cafe too. Anyway, I can make another video for this topic.
So you were talking about what you do when you're hanging out with your Taiwanese friends, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do when you hang out with your non-Taiwanese friends?
We also do some activities I mentioned earlier, but we drink more often.
Drinky.
At someone's home, in a bar, in a park, or on the street.
Wait, you can drink on the street in Taipei?
But I know we cannot do it in Scotland.
Yeah, that's right. So in some places, depending on which city you're in, you're not allowed to drink openly on the street because of some laws that have been created.
We also, unlike Scotland, I don't think we have a law for this, so it's not illegal.
Actually, in Scotland, you're not allowed to buy alcohol from the supermarket or like small alcohol store or corner store between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. And if you visit Scotland or if you study some things about Scotland, you will notice that some laws in Scotland can be very different from other parts of the UK.
Okay, I think that's enough for today. If you enjoyed the content or thought it's interesting, please like, share and subscribe.
And also leave a comment below and tell us, where do you hang out with your friends, and does your country have any kind of drinking culture?
Thanks a lot for watching, and be sure to tune in next time.
Bye.
Bye. I hate a stupid virus. I want to hang out with my friends.
You know what I wanted to do but couldn't do? Get a damn bloody haircut. But you know what I just did? Just cut it myself, even though it probably looks shit.
I think they have eyes to see it.
Anyway, maybe they're just as blind as you are. Who knows?